Hi everyone. Well, it's amazing what a bold color will do for your skin and your hair color. Sometimes it takes a village to just put yourself together, put a little bit of boldness on, and it can really spark up your complexion. It's simple, it's easy, and it's fun to experiment with color. It doesn't always have to be pink just because it's spring. A pretty red or coral color is awesome, and the right tools also help. Hi everybody, good morning, and hope you're having a great weekend. As I just showed in the picture, sometimes it takes a village to put on your face, and sometimes it's just fun. I think, it may not be if you happen to be a stay-at-home person normally or retired and you just put on, just light type products. Sometimes you just give your skin a break and you just wash it and go all day with maybe nothing but hopefully just sunscreen on. And then there's those days for dress up that you really want to pull your stash out, and so sometimes it just takes a village. And so today I'm going to talk to you about what I have on my face, and maybe some of the little tips that I have for application and what I use to put on my makeup. And I know we're into spring, but it's never out of order to wear something bold on your lips, like this pretty lip color. And it's just fun sometimes to do a full face makeup. It makes you feel good, and it just kind of lifts your spirit. So we're going to talk about that. If you're interested, stay tuned. Well, it's been a hot minute since I last did that little video and showed you the products that I used today to put my face together. I had to go to church this morning, so ran to the grocery store after church. Nothing too exciting, but kind of getting some storms in, like mostly tomorrow and later today, but I thought, oh, let me just go and get this done. So I did, and so I thought I would show you what I have on my face today. Today, for me, is considered a full face makeup day, and sometimes, it's just good to do that. I usually do a fuller face makeup when I'm going out, going to church, and things like that. Mostly when I'm home, I still will put on something light, like my Clinique BB cream or my It Cosmetic foundation moisturizer. Sometimes I just wear powder, all the time sunscreen. And sometimes when you're having a rough week and things just are difficult, sometimes you just don't want to do anything. You just barely want to just brush your teeth. You don't want to mess with makeup. You don't care about color or lipstick or your hair. And that's fine, because I think sometimes you just have those days. But you don't want to do that every day, because I'm not saying anything about anybody who doesn't wear makeup or who has never been used to applying it or using it, because that's great. You're in your natural state, and that's wonderful. But I've always loved makeup. I've always been fascinated with lipstick and powder. Lipstick and powder, really. I should have probably named my channel Lipstick and Powder, because from a very young age, I was so attracted to that deep red matte lip and powder compacts. I just thought they were glamorous and clean. I thought that look, of course, I'm really going back to, I love watching old movies, and those movies from the 30s and 40s with the skinny eyebrows, which, I don't like that, but, and the tightly woven hair and the bright lip and kind of that pale complexion, and those powder puffs just were amazing. And sometimes I would just watch the movies, even as a young kid growing up, because I loved the vanities in some of those old movies. I would think, gosh, that's so cool. And so anyways, but I just got off of a very difficult week, and sometimes, oh, you just have those weeks, and I know that exercising is helping me. Going for a nice long bike ride really does good for my body physically, but also mentally, and gives me that time away. I can plug into a podcast and just listen and escape. And I had a couple of days where I just didn't want to do anything. No makeup, didn't want to go out of the house, no hair, no nothing, just because it was difficult. And that's fine. But when that becomes a habit, and if that's not your norm, then you have to break it. Then you just have to say, even if I'm not going anywhere today, and I always I'm going to go do my face, I'm going to put on my makeup, because it just kind of makes you feel better. And on those days that you're just home, sometimes if you just can put on a little bit of light powder or gloss, and a little mascara, it just kind of builds your spirit up to just feel good. And it's an act of being able to exercise. I look good, I feel good, I'm going to think that way, instead of being defeated by sometimes just negativity. Negativity is like can suck the life out of you. And nobody knows that better than I. So anyway, so I'm going to share with you how I got myself ready today and what I'm wearing. So today I'm wearing Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Magic Foundation. This is what I consider a foundation that I use on my fuller face makeup days. I like this foundation. I have it actually in fair pale, and it has great coverage. It goes on beautifully. My favorite thing to use in applying this type of foundation, or almost any type of my foundation, is a beauty blender sponge, and this happens to be a Sonia Koshek beauty blender or sponge. It's wonderful. I love it. I've had this for quite a while, and I don't even see a divot in it, and I wash it frequently, and I have a backup, but I love her sponges. So I have that on, but before that, because I have some breakouts, and sometimes I think those breakouts can be caused from our humidity is on the rise, and I'm outside a little bit more with the elements, and so sometimes I know it's a little more breakup. So that's when I kind of know I need to get my face wash out for myself that is more for acne prone, and then do that a couple of times a week. But I have the Dior Fix It 2-in-1 Prime and Conceal. Now I like this, and I use this a lot for this area here, because I have like some of those little fine veins and a little bit of that redness right through here. This works really great on it. But when I really want to be boss on some of those darn bigger zits, it's the NARS. This is the NARS Creme Brulee Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This thing covers it up. I mean, covers it up, because that right there. Now it's been, oh my goodness, it's been 7 hours since I applied it. Is still covered up, but when you first apply it, it really does a trick, because that particular one is not too nice. And then the next thing I did after applying my foundation is I used this Painterly Pro Longwear Paint Pot for my eyelids. Now, the reason I like this is just the, oh yeah, this is Painterly. It's not for the color. It's kind of like more like fleshy, kind of with that lighter beige tone, but I like it because it evens out my eyelids. If I have any redness or darkness on my eyelids, it just really gives a nice even coat, and I just kind of feel like my eyeshadow, whichever color I'm choosing, just goes on better. So that is not like you can see it, but it just really gives a nice even, goes on smooth, and been using Painterly for a long time. Like I said, it's by MAC, and that's what I use. And even some days when I'm not doing full makeup, if I notice I got really dark lids, and they might be a little irritated just from allergies, I just smooth that on, and I just think it just gives a nice even coverage to my eyelids. So after foundation, then I followed up with my powder, and it's It by Pores, and I love this powder. I got a pretty big divot going on in the middle. I do feel like it blurs, doesn't take away my pores, it doesn't shrink them, but it just kind of fills in and blurs them and gives a nice finish, and so I really like that powder. And then I followed up with Charlotte Tilbury, and this is, just need to blow that off a little, Flawless Bronzer and Glow. This is really pretty, and I like to use that in this area here, the bronzer, and I do just a little bit of etching, I call it, on the sides of my nose and under my chin area, and these are really pretty. They're subtle. And then I follow along on my cheekbone areas here, but it's, it just puts a little bit of shimmer, not a lot, but it's not like my favorite, which is my Chanel, that I use like mostly all the time, but this just really gives a pretty little nice glow, and I use it up through here in my forehead. I always use Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz for my brows, and today I have the granite color on, and I am in the process of, I've been in the process of, I'm going to go get my eyebrows done again. It's been 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I need, this portion right here extended a little bit, and now that my hair is totally grown out in color, maybe we can do a little better color matching, because before I had just started the process and not sure, where it's going to go, but I'm fine with this color, but it's just, I do very little to them. I just fill in very sparsely, but so anyways, that'll be that's just another video. And then for my blush today, I used this also by Pores blush, and this is called Naturally Pretty. I've showed this before. I think it's just naturally pretty. It's light, it's subtle, and I love it. And then I used my all-time favorite, really, Tom Ford Cocoa Quad, and it's just, I think, so pretty. I know it's spring, and everybody's getting into all the spring, colors, but this one, winter, spring, summer, fall, it's just, I don't know, it's like a comfort food. It's just that one palette that I just love to go to, and a lot of times during the week, lately I've just been using the Milani palette that I bought, Sultry, Soft and Sultry. That's really pretty, and I have a lot of spring type colors that, I will trade off, but, like I said, this is kind of like comfort food. I love this palette. If anybody asks for a recommendation of a neutral looking palette, it would be this one. And this is one of those ones you want to get when Sephora's having their sale, because it's got a hefty little price. So a couple of my favorite tools that I like to use. Now when I did the Charlotte Tilbury bronze, oh wait, I forgot one thing because I did put it back, but I finished my look off with a finishing powder today, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and I show this a lot, but have no fear, I have one in my purse because I love it so much, and I finished my look off with that. Now I can see that I've had just a little bit of wearing off through here. because it's been 6 or 7 hours. So I could touch up a bit, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep it this way. This is, what do you call this brush? It's by NARS. Can't remember, but this is a great sculpting brush. And when I put on this Flawless Bronzer and Glow, that's what I use, this brush, because it really gets into those crevices, and I outline down here, and then I just tap it on the sides, and then I just I'm not going to do it now because I get it all over my glasses, just kind of give a little outline. And then when I want to highlight it through here, I just take the whole thing, rub it together, and just give a couple of little, swooshes. And then the last thing I do is I put on the blush over it, because the blushes, but it just kind of, I like it because it kind of gives me a little bit of soft color to my skin and kind of erases some of the paleness. Because one thing I won't do, guys, is I'm a sunscreen wearer. Get used to it. Get used to the smell, get used to the feel, let it dry, put your makeup on, you're good to go. Because I'm telling you, I don't like the sun rays. And one other thing I want to mention and that I do use is, today I used the Hourglass Mineral Primer, Mineral Veil, great primer before I applied my makeup. And my lips is today Velvet Morning by Lisa Eldridge. And classy color. It's just, it's not coral, it's not red, and it just has this beautiful combination of red, coral, kind of with a blue, I think, kind of, I don't know if it's a blue undertone or not, but it's what I just is like, this beautiful combination of color that I love, and I think it's great any time of year. And as you can see, I like to match up my lipstick with my blush as best I can, and I just think for how this goes on, because it does look a little different in the pan, it looks like really how it goes on, just is such a pretty compliment to this color, and I love it. It was limited edition too, so that is definitely not something I wear every day, but I sure love it. And most times when I'm dressing up, that's kind of what I go for. And some of my favorite tools, as I showed you, my Sonia Kashuk brush, big sponge, it's lovely. I love it. You can get these in sets of 2. You can buy them in, like a couple come in a set with some smaller ones, but I just love that. And I do use this Bobbi Brown brush. This Bobbi Brown? Nope, sorry, Charlotte Tilbury. For blush, I like it. It is a blush brush. It looks big, but it just picks up the blush and applies it in a beautiful application, and I do love that. And then this is Ulta Beauty's tapered highlighting brush. This is a great brush. I use this all the time for the highlights. Tap it and then just smooth it in. Feels good, it's soft, it's wonderful. Oh, now that I'm looking up at my vanity, I also forgot liquid concealer under my eye. Love it. Charlotte Tilbury. Love this stuff. Has a sponge tip applicator. I'm going through it. I use this every day. It does not have to be a full face makeup day, because this really does the trick to lightening up that dark under there, and it doesn't take a lot. Oh, I love this stuff. It's great stuff. And then I think I'm going to show you this set. This happens to be a set of brushes. These are Morphe Jaclyn Hill brushes, eye brushes, and these were recommended by Erica from Style Chronicles, and Oh, you talk about somebody who knows how to do their eye makeup. Makeup period. It's her. But anyways, she did a little tutorial on these brushes, and I had kind of an assortment of brushes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 7. 7 come in the set, and so, and a couple of my brushes, I think I've put them all aside right now. They were really old, 17, 18 years old. A MAC brush that I've had for, oh gosh, well over 10 years. So I thought, you know what? It's about time to just go ahead and switch it up and get yourself. And she really loved these brushes, and so do I. So today, I used these 2 brushes for eyeshadow application, and this brush, and then for under my eye here with a little shadow, that brush. I've used all of these brushes and I love them all. They're really a good set of brushes. I will link them below. I got them at Ulta. And I always think it's so nice when someone else that you trust gives a good review. And if there's only one brush that you need, then I'm not sure. You'd have to look. I don't know if they sell them separately, but if you're looking to get yourself a good set of brushes, and look, if you spend the money to buy a good, decent set of brushes and take care of them, they'll last you for years and years, just as mine have. And I do take care of my brushes. I think it's important to clean them, but I love the way it picks the product up, and I love the softness of the brush. It doesn't prick or sting. Sometimes you're using a brush, it feels like it's got needle tips on it, but it just smooths out your shadows and makes application so easy. So love these, and I have been wanting to talk about these. I just keep forgetting because I've had them for quite a while now, but great brushes. Again, it's the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush. So really good brushes. I wanted to talk about that. And what else do I have? I think I've showed you everything. Oh, this is my MAC brush that I've had. It's a 224 brush. I've had this forever. I still use it. And what I kind of did was, after swishing and putting everything on, then I just gently went over it with this brush. It's a favorite brush, and like I said, I've had it for a long time, but I just was in the market for a new brush. And another item I want to share with you really quickly is this is called Breeze Like, and it's a beard comb and hair comb, and it's for men and women. And I have to tell you guys, now I got this on Amazon, and it's the best natural care for your hair. It doesn't cause static, and I like to have a big wide tooth comb brush in the shower, and I've had one in the shower, and I've had it for years and years and years. I probably bought it at Sally a bazillion years ago, but the edges were starting to get worn and a little bit sharp and pointy. So I had another one, which, I mean, I could just go buy that because they sell them everywhere, but I have another one, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll just keep that in the shower. And if you keep anything in the shower like that you want for easy access, always wipe it down when the shower is done, just so it doesn't grow any kind of, like water hanging around and turning to mold and all of that. So just wipe it down, make sure it's dry, and then you can just keep it in your shower, because after I apply my conditioner, I like to just leave it on my hair for a few minutes, and then I just like to comb it through. It just makes it easy. But after my hair is wet, I want a good comb that I can get through, that I'm not, breaking my hair. And this little guy, I'm telling you, I hadn't brushed my hair or combed it since early this morning, and I have this part of my hair just back combed and teased a little bit, and I gotta tell you, it just goes through your hair very gently, and there, it's out. And I had that pretty puffed up, but it doesn't pull your hair. So this will be my dry hair comb that I'll use after I wash my hair and get it out of the towel and it's ready to be combed, because it doesn't cause breakage, it doesn't pull, and it's supposed to be like a guy's beard comb. I mean, it's pretty big for that, but I guess some guys have big beards. And it's pretty small in your hand, but it has a nice handle on it, and it does feel really good on your scalp. So new through Amazon, and I'll link it below, because I don't remember, I think it was $12 or something. Now you have to care for it. It cannot stay in water or like hot temperatures. You can't soak it or use any heavy detergents on it to clean it. So it comes with instructions. It tells you, how to keep it nice. And I think it even said you could rub a little olive oil on it, just if like the handle starts to get, but it's a nice, I'm all about good hair tools, because I think it makes a difference in how your hair feels and looks. And it came in this cute little slide pocket thing, and I thought, oh, that's great. I just stick it in with all of my other tools, and then when I need to use it, I will. Because I'm telling you, sometimes I'm really bad, and I've been outside, and I been working out in the yard, or going out riding my bike, or taking a walk, and I come home and I grab a comb, and I'm just like, yeah, I gotta stop doing that. That's not so good. So that's all I have for today. I just really wanted to share with you what I have on, and just let you know that also I think it's important to make yourself feel good. So whatever that is for you, whether it's, just reading a good book, or having a nice cup of tea, or treating yourself to a dessert, or just fixing your hair in a different way, or wearing a different colored lipstick. I mean, it might sound ridiculous to some people, like that's nonsense, but it isn't. If it makes you feel good up here, it's gonna really help change your whole outlook on just having a better day. Not that it takes away any of your problems, not that they miraculously just go poof and they're gone, because wouldn't that be great? I'd be back here every day putting on a ton of makeup, but it just helps. It just helps. Makes things just seem a little better. And, like I've said this before, there's a commercial that comes on, and the more mature woman says, they say there comes a time when you get tired of, wearing makeup or doing yourself up or something like that. And she says, I wonder when that will be. And like, that's my motto, because for me, I don't think there'll ever come a time. But anyway, so have a great week, and thank you for stopping in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new, I'd love for you to join. And if you're a returning subscriber, I hope you enjoyed this. So, bye.